Hey y'all, it's Megan. Welcome back to the channel. Glad y'all are here today. Come spend a little time with us today. We're going to be building one of the raised beds that's been on the to-do list for at least a year now, and we're finally getting around to adding another raised bed out here to our raised bed garden.
Let's grab, what did I say a while ago? 8 boards?
I think so.
Go your way, just a little. There you go.
Did you catch him?
They got him.
I think she's got it on backwards.
It don't look right. These boards have really cracked since
Yeah, they
I
have.
milled them. We got a bow in that one.
He's listening.
All right, I'm gonna go to the back.
You can tell they've dried since I unloaded them.
Well, that's what I was saying. That's what they've cracked a lot. That's where them cracks come from. But they ain't near as heavy
That's
either.
what I was saying. They ain't nearly as heavy.
All right, that'll get us.
That one bed.
That ought to get that one bed done. But yeah, after I've been thinking about it, I'm not 100% sure we got enough milled for the rest of what I want to build.
You may have to break the sawmill back out again.
Yeah, I'll have to find some more oak logs.
Yeah.
See, the only thing I don't have is a level. Let me run and get a level real quick.
All right. So while he's doing that, I'll show you the raised bed garden real quick. If you're new around here, we've got several raised beds right through here. We've got garlic growing in that one and in that one. These are cattle panels that we grew green beans on the last couple of years. This year we'll grow our English peas on them and move the green beans. We do a good 50-50 mixture of raised bed gardening and in-ground gardening. Some things do better in the raised beds, with us anyway, and some things do better in the ground. So we're just kind of figuring it out as we go along. We've only been using raised beds probably the last 3 years, something like that. And we've added on a little bit. Well, those first couple of years we did, and last year we meant to extend on down there, and well, we never got around to it. So we're getting around to it now. And then right up there, that's what we call our main garden, where you just saw us working on the fence, right over there.
The first thing I'm going to do is cut me a small piece of this 2x2. This is also oak. It's just some we milled up. Matter of fact, I think this was milled up when we milled all this lumber here. But I'm going to cut me a strip, a short strip, and I'll run it right here, and then I'll screw it to this existing bed, and that'll be what I attach my sideboards to. Because this will all be, like, it'll be divided up, but it's all one big long raised bed, just stair step down this hill. So I don't know, Megan, what do you think? I'm thinking this new one
Let little Shorty come over here and see.
be right in there somewhere, probably. But you know, you got to remember down here it's going to be higher.
That's what I'm trying to see. If it stays, I can't do that.
We'll go 3 boards high and see where that gets us.
Well, how tall is this one? It's 3 boards.
3 boards up there on the short end, but I believe these are 2x8s. Yeah, these were 2x8s. So the one we got now is 2x6s. So 3 boards ain't gonna be quite as tall as 3 of these.
Yeah, because this right here is just, it don't need to be no taller than right here,
Right.
what this one is.
I know this one right here I think is the tallest we have.
Because to get over in the middle, especially if something's really big in here growing, it's hard for me anyway.
All right, well, the reason I was wondering is because I need to know how long to cut the new piece.
I think 3 boards would be just fine.
No, I'll go about 2 foot, and we might just drive it down in the ground a little bit if we have to.
And if you saw the video, I reckon it was the last video, And Andy was talking about how he moves the hay ring around for the cows, so the cows have dry hay to lay in. That's not the only reason we do that. Now, the biggest reason is so the cows have somewhere dry to lay, but that's how we make our compost. Every bit that's in these beds, we make ourselves, and it all comes from that out there what the cows and the horses make for us in the wintertime.
Yep.
So.
I think we got a video somewhere or another talking about that.
Yeah.
It's been a while.
I'll have to see if I can find it. I think you did one this summer.
It was back in the middle of the summer when
because we can't ever push it all up till it gets really hot and dry in the summer and it all dries up, and Andy will get in there with a tractor and pile it up.
Pile it all up, and I'll treat it like a compost pile at that point. I'll turn it on occasion.
But even after, by that point, it ain't much hay hardly left in it, is it?
No, it's just pretty black dirt.
Yeah.
All right, moving to the other side. These are supposed to be somewhere in the neighborhood of 8 foot long, and they're 8 foot 7 inches. So just to keep up, here, pull the tape up there real quick. Oh my, 8 foot's gonna really come out to that tree.
Maybe we shouldn't put one right here. Maybe we should rethink this. What about if we put one long ways like that one?
Put it where?
Over the other side of that one?
Ain't enough room.
Yeah, and the way it's shaped, you can't connect them because you can't reach it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, maybe we shouldn't put one here.
Well, that tree's gonna be little for several more years.
But what kind of tree is it?
Apple.
It'll completely shade out this bed.
Eventually.
But the bed will probably be rotten by then.
Yeah, that's right. The bed will be rotten by the time this tree shades it out.
That's true. Okay. 10-4. And if we take a notion to, I guess we can move it.
What, the tree?
Yeah, we moved them other apple trees.
Yeah, well, I kind of like that tree there. If this tree does shade it out, we can grow things here in the summertime that like shade, that don't like all that heat.
That's true. That's a good way to look at it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think it's still going to be all right either way.
Yeah.
Because even when that tree's fully grown, now, I mean, the limbs are going to be plumb out over this bed here. Like, for sure. But right there where it's 6 foot. I mean, now, we could make a short raised bed.
I know, but I think you'd have to cut them pretty.
Yeah, I know. I don't want to waste that much lumber. So let's cut it at 8. Let's do 8 foot, and we'll at least have a good 2 years of full sun on this bed before it becomes a problem.
Like
So this is going to take a good 2 to 3 years before this tree sprawls anyways. Because look at those trees down there. I mean, they're
5 years old.
Yeah, at least 5 years old, and they're not huge.
Yeah. They ain't much bigger than that one.
I know. So I think it'll be all right. You know, if worst, like I said, worst case scenario, we just move it. Let's see how far out of level our ground is here. Ah.
You want me to hold it?
It don't matter. Just sit there. Look at this. It's a foot lower on the bottom side. All right. So what I done last time was I went ahead and built me a box, like one round, and then I jacked it up on the bottom and filled in the holes with other boards. So I guess that's what we're going to do this time. Just double checking here. I'm pretty sure we got these beds 4 foot wide. Yep. So I'm gonna cut me 2 4-foot pieces now. First off, I'll cut this board down to 8 foot. Now we'll split it in half and make it 4 foot. And we'll get 2 end pieces out of this one board.
No, it is a light.
They're a lot lighter than they were. This is the hardest part of it all, is getting this first run done where we're trying to keep it level. There's several different ways I could do this. I could dig out up here on the hillside and lay the boards in completely level. But the way I've always done it with these beds here is put the board up to the point where I get it level and then prop me something underneath of it and go ahead and build out my box. And that's what I'm going to do this time too. It's just, it's a little more difficult to do it that way probably, but I don't have to dig out anything. So I like to use these big lag screws on these big heavy duty oak boards like this. But it makes it a whole lot easier if I go ahead and drill through the first one.
And I did make sure both batteries are fully charged.
Are they?
Mm-hmm.
All right, this is where I'm gonna need a hand.
Yeah. Meagan. Do it.
There we go. Just hold it there.
Yeah.
Thank you. So Jacob, get the level. Whatever I've done with it, right over there at least. And we're still
Not
pretty
level.
good ways out.
I don't think this is gonna get it level.
Probably not. How close is it?
It's not. I don't. That's not level.
It's getting really close though. All right, y'all, whatever you do, don't touch this bed. Level that way, but I guarantee we're not level this way. No. We've got to be picked up. We need something else to put under this thing.
The hammer.
I don't know if the hammer's thick enough to do what I got to do now. I just had an idea. So we're gonna give it legs.
Oh.
And after I got to thinking about it, I'm pretty sure that's what I done when I built these up here. So I'll screw this to that, and that'll support it. All right. Let's do that on the other side. Perfect. All of them can come out. We'll build a raised bed on top of this, and then we'll fill in the gaps with other boards. So can you see it? So at this point, we're just gonna cut more 8-foot boards and more 4-foot boards, and we'll build it up to the heights we want it. Then I will cut boards to fill in the gap underneath. All right, little man, you got your drill. All right, back it out some and clean your bit out. There you go. Clean your bit out. There you go. There you go. You ain't got through it yet. There you are. All right, go ahead and drill one down below it.
Right here?
Yeah. There you go. You got it.
Is that good?
Are you center of the board behind you?
I think so.
Are you center of what you're drilling into?
I think so.
If you think so, you do it. I trust you.
I was center until it went that way.
What do you mean it went that way?
Like, when I went to go do it, it went...
Oh, your bit walked away?
Mm-hmm. Am I through?
Yeah. Go ahead and drill one right below it.
Is that good?
I didn't see. Yeah, that's
I think my drill just went down a bar.
good. Did it?
Mm-hmm.
Good. Oh, never mind. I forget that's how you keep it centered. All right, straighten it up. You're going in way crooked. Hold up. Drill it. There you go. Don't push too hard. You might knock it down.
Keep going?
Yeah.
Yep! I was right. It did go down a bar.
Did it?
Mm-hmm.
All right, y'all. I believe one more run is going to call it good for this bed. It's a bigger drop off there than what we've had the whole way down. But it looks sort of odd because I think once we get this far, we're dropping off more than what we've dropped the whole way.
I believe so.
Plus, we are going with a little bit smaller boards too.
Yeah, I think it's definitely more of a drop off right here.
Daddy, I'd rather build more beds than mow this.
Had you?
Mm-hmm.
Well, now you don't have to mow between the bed and the tree anymore.
Yep.
We'll just have a full mulch circle at the end of this bed.
Yeah, like we do over there.
Yeah, like
And we
yeah,
can
like
put
that.
another one right there.
Yep, it looks really good.
That'll be.
I went and laid the stakes out, and I thought I would make them potatoes that everybody loves so much.
Oh yeah, the stewed potatoes.
Yeah.
Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
The white one?
Does that sound
The
good?
canned
Yeah.
potatoes or the other ones?
No, I got enough good ones. I ain't gonna use them canned potatoes yet.
Okay.
What? Well, thank you, darling.
Once this is all done, now it's resting on those two legs,
Right.
but it'll be actually resting on the boards that are underneath of it. once
Yeah,
it's all
that
done.
makes sense. Well, it's just because we're building it on a hill.
Yeah, this is just my temporary fix
Right.
until I get it done.
We had to do one on this one too.
That's the bad thing about them on the hillside, you know,
To make them level.
to make them level, and then that way there'll be a decent depth up here, which
Well, I have a question.
if I had to do this over with, I would have only built these beds
Well,
shorter.
Why can't we just leave this one shorter?
Because you know me, it's
scared
not going to look
You're
right.
scared it's going to not look right.
It's not going to look right. If we were just starting out, I would have only built them 2 boards high.
Yeah.
Because you waste way too much material filling them up and way too much material building them. But since we've already got it like this, I'm going to go ahead and finish this one
I don't think it looks that bad.
that way.
Well,
I do.
I
don't like it.
I don't like it either. Just
Yeah.
because it's too short.
Now
It
that
only comes up to my knees.
so the new beds I built up here though, they're all. I think I'm just gonna make all of them 2 boards high.
Yeah,
Cause that's plenty. That's plenty of depth.
I agree.
But like I said, you know, I don't know what I was thinking when I built these beds, but I wanted them high. And so that's why I built them so deep like
Well,
that.
I like them high because it's not hard to. You just come in here and just reach over on this one. You gotta go like.
Well, those 2 beds right there are only 2 boards high anyways. Now why I built the rest of them so tall, I have no idea.
Well, maybe these look tall beds are on the hill.
Well, that's part of it. They're on a hill.
Yeah, because that very first one up there is only 2 boards high.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Well,
this
as they slope down the hill, I bet you to start with, I probably tried to keep them level.
I think you did because them first 2 were in line with each other.
You know, if I'd have kept them level, the top of the bed would probably be like right here.
Yeah.
I got to get 2 more 8-foot ones cut and another 4-foot one. Sit that one on top. Putting the short screws in these up here because this will be about where my soil level's at, and I don't want that big long screw hanging out into it. Well, I mean where the top of my soil level's at. so at this point, I think I'll put up that bottom board across this end out here, and then I'm going to have to take some sort of measurement to get an idea of how I'm going to have to cut this board.
Okay.
And then there'll be one more board down below that one. So on this end down here, it's going to end up being like 5 boards high. So it's going to have plenty of heights to it and depth.
All right, y'all, it's getting about supper time. So tonight for supper, we're going to have some steaks, some of what I call stewed potatoes, and some corn on the cob that we saved from our garden back in the summer. So what I like to do with my steaks is I've had them sitting here about 10 minutes, and I put a good layer of salt on both sides, and I kind of just let them sit for a little bit, and that salt draws some of that moisture out. And you really get a good sear on your steaks if you do it this way. It's the way we like to do it anyway. And for my potatoes, I've just got them peeled and cubed. They're slowly coming up to a boil. We'll let these potatoes boil until they're just fork tender. You don't want them to get soft enough like mashed potatoes where they start falling apart, but you do want them to be fork tender. And honestly, y'all, the way I'm going to show y'all tonight, this is all 4 of ours most favorite way to eat potatoes. We're going to just pan fry the steaks, and we enjoy them that way. We hardly ever cook them on the grill, except for maybe like in the summer we may get the grill out and cook steaks, but most of the time I just cook them this way. And they're really good done this way. I got to grab my corn on the cob. We got to get it going too. Now with my corn on the cob, we freeze them wrapped individually in a freezer bag. When I'm preserving them from the summer, we grow Honey Select sweet corn. It keeps really well. It freezes well. And, well, this is the way I've always done it, and it works like a charm. So if it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? Because I know there's a blue million ways to freeze corn, but this is the way we like to do it. So with your frozen corn, I don't thaw it out. It goes straight from the freezer into my pot. By the time this pot comes up to a good rolling boil, you might let it go just a couple of minutes, but your corn's usually thawed out and pretty well done by then. Because it takes it a while where this corn is still froze. I've never tried thawing it out, but I have heard from viewers that they've let it thaw out before putting it in the pot, and it gives it more of a rubbery texture. Whereas doing it like this, of course it's not as good as fresh out the garden, but it is better than anything you can find at any grocery store, I'll tell you that. I'm going to go ahead and start cooking my steaks now. That'll give them plenty of rest time about while all this is finishing up. It's real important with most kinds of meat, when you get done cooking them, not to cut them open right away. Let them rest a little bit. Let those juices kind of cool down and settle into the meat instead of cutting it open immediately and all the juice pouring out. So we want those to have plenty of time to rest. Get my pan out here. Now I'm going to cut my heat on about medium for this, and I'm going to put me a little lard in my frying pan. Just a little spoonful, good enough to cover by my pan. You can do that with any kind of grease or butter. It's good with butter too. Really, all a good steak needs, y'all, is some salt and butter. I mean, really. If it's good quality meat, that's all it's going to take to make it delicious. I mean, honestly, probably don't even need that stuff. But we don't use steak sauce or anything on steaks. I like that good flavor. And these steaks did come from our 3 steers that y'all saw us take to the processor here back around Christmas, or it was before Christmas. And so these steaks are on the smaller side. They're not these huge steaks that you're going to see in the grocery store, or if it was a larger cow. These were dairy breed steers. And so for the amount of time that we had them, the steaks are not huge, but they are phenomenal. So tonight I'm cooking 4 New York strips and 2 sirloins. But again, keep in mind, they're not huge. So I know that sounds like a lot, but they're not huge. All right, let's go ahead and put these on there. Now I'm going to start off with the 2 smaller ones to show y'all what I'm talking about. And see how narrow those New York strips are? It's just from how old, the age of the cow, and how big they were. Or how not big they were, I guess I should say.
try those.
Hold that up on that end over there.
Right there.
Right there. So now you can see kind of what I'm talking about there. I cut the board at an angle on the end so it wedges up between the ground and the boards. And we're going to have to do one more the same way right there. Yeah, it's going to be tight. I've done that on purpose.
Oh, now you're gonna have to hammer it in there.
Yeah, give me a hammer. Well, that gives you an idea how that goes. We're going to cut one more 4-foot one, and then we'll do the same around here on this side. But anyways, that gives you an idea of how you build a raised bed on the hillside. It's not the easiest thing in the world.
You give them a little sprinkle of salt, just a little sprinkle. And we're gonna give it just a little pat of butter on each piece.
Drill it. Okay.
Did I get it right?
Felt like it. Let's get a screw in it so I don't have to hold it. Last big screw here. That ain't going nowhere. So to support our boards up here on this end, I'm going to use one of these cut-off pieces. That's one of my wedges that I cut off of one of my ground boards where it's already got a sharp point on it. We should be able to drive it right in the ground.
That's working good.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, like that one's barely gonna be long enough.
Yeah, it'll still work though. It ain't got to be plumb to the top. So let's put one down here on this bottom one.
All right, my steaks are done. They look great. And now the last thing we gotta do, my corn's done. Just gotta drain my potatoes. So what we're gonna do for the way that I make stewed potatoes anyway is I'm gonna drain off about half of the water. All right, so you can see there, I drained off about half the water. We still got a little water down in there. Get me a nice couple hunks of butter here. Plenty of butter. Plenty of salt. Black pepper. And if I had fresh parsley right now, I would put that on there, but I just have some dried herb mixture here. That's really good in there too. We're gonna mix all that together. And I like to kind of mash some of them as I go, which is what I'm doing with my spoon here. That'll actually thicken up that soup just a little bit. See that nice thick soup that's made doing the potatoes that way? Plenty of salt and plenty of butter, and they will be wonderful. And that's all it is to making these stewed potatoes. If you've never made them before, I promise you, if you like potatoes, you'll really enjoy these. And another thing I like about them is if I do happen to make a whole lot at one time, like with the amount that I have today, there will be none left. But if I made, say, twice this and I had leftovers, if I didn't want stewed potatoes again tomorrow night, they're super easy to turn into mashed potatoes. So you can have stewed potatoes one night, plan ahead of time, you're going to have a busy day tomorrow, have your mashed potatoes the next night. You put in all the work today, you just got to pretty much mash them and add your liquids, and there you go. But I'm going to go holler for Andy and the kids, and we're going to eat.
All right. Well, there you have it, guys.
Is it done?
It is done, besides filling it. Right down there, I have a mound of dirt that came out from where the greenhouse is when I was leveling that up. I'll use that to fill up to probably right in there. And then on the rest, on the top layer, we'll use that compost that Meagan was just telling y'all about at the beginning of the video. And then at that point, we'll add nothing but compost and mulch and stuff like that to it. But I don't like using that compost way down deep like that, really, because it ain't much use in it, and you're just wasting your compost. You're better off to put something down here that maybe not quite as good as what you put on the top. It don't look like I have screws in those, but there are screws in there. I just used the smaller screws so they wouldn't be hanging out into that right there, which I guess I could just cut those off, and that's probably what I'll do. I don't know. I didn't think about cutting them off when I put those in there, but I guess I could have done that. But anyways, they're there now. But I do like using these big-headed screws on this wood because, as you can see, when that stuff warps out, it comes out with some power. And it's actually either pulled that screw out some or bent it or something. But when you have that big fat head on them screws, helps hold all of it together.
It has to pull a whole bunch out instead of just pulling this little bit, that little bit out.
That's right. Well, that gives us an extra 8 foot of growing space, or 8x4 foot of growing space. 5 8-foot beds down through there.
We have a long row of 5.
That's right. And the more I think about it, after working around this bed, I believe I am going to dig that tree up and move it a few feet down the hill. We'll do it before, well, here soon, because it's going to start budding out before long. And you don't want to transplant a tree when it's starting to bud out. Actually, it's probably done a little bit too late in the season now to be transplanting a tree, but I didn't realize I was going to be transplanting a tree. We just planted it last year. It was just planted last spring. But that's it for today's raised bed project. We still got plenty more to build up here in the big garden. At least I think I do. I'm running low on lumber, so I'm not going to have enough lumber to build as many as I wanted. And where spring is coming up on us pretty fast here, I don't know. I'm not going to say I won't yet, but I'm starting to doubt that I have time to mill up any more wood between now and then. So we'll see. We'll just see how things go.
I've already got the kids' plates fixed, so.
Taters and corn on the cob.
Everybody's favorite potatoes.
And steak. Dang.
It's a $50 meal.
Yeah, we're living high on the hog tonight, ain't we?
That's right. Where did my dogs go? I just got.
Does it matter which one I get?
No. And then we got some toast over there, so.
All right. brownies over here.
Yeah, me and Maggie made those earlier. I was letting them cool. But that don't look too bad, does it?
Nope. Like you said, $50 plate, and I guarantee it tastes better than one that comes from a restaurant.
I hope so. But anyways, guys, I hope y'all enjoyed today's video. Hope you might have learned a little something. Until we see y'all on the next one.
Well, have a good one.
Have a good one.